feeling my way through the dark.
Tony KATZ, 93 WIBC. I would appreciate it if Frederick Wilson and John McCain and the White House would start remembering what the job is. Because I've had enough of this conversation about who insulted who's lying, who's telling the truth. Someone's a racist, someone's an empty barrel. Bone spurs, allow me, if I can. This starts with Frederick Wilson, the congressman from Florida, who says that she overheard a conversation that President Trump had with a widow, the widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, who was laid to rest, a man who was killed in the line in Niger. I think they pronounce it Niger, so forgive me if my pronunciation is inappropriate. 4 U.S. soldiers died in that ambush. Never mind that we're politicizing the deaths of these 4 people, because now we want to, or at least the American left wants to say, see, this is Trump's Benghazi. Well, at least now we admit that Benghazi was a real issue. Sickening as that is. Frederick Wilson turning this into a story because CNN and others so hate President Trump, and that's what it's about. Please, let's not kid ourselves. They so hate President Trump that they're not interested in getting real things done, not interested in having honest conversation. They're interested in anything that allows them to attack President Trump. President Trump responds to Frederick Wilson. He doesn't take that stuff lying down. And then enter General John Kelly, 4-star general. General John Kelly, the chief of staff, who gives a very impassioned talk there in the White House briefing room, refers to Frederick Wilson as an empty barrel, talks about an event where she took credit for fundraising and people were aghast. Then a video comes out to say, here's the video of her talking. She was taking credit for getting the building names properly, but she didn't take credit for the fundraising or the funds for the building. She wasn't even in Congress at the time. And then Frederick Wilson, along with the staff at MSNBC, decide that calling her an empty barrel was racist. Let me take you to Senator John McCain. John McCain, who has continued to bash President Trump, who will not be honest about the fact that he lied to America regarding Obamacare repeal, and actually thinks that we shouldn't notice that he opposes things because the president wants them. That we absolutely, in large measure, agree that he is being petty. That we are disgusted by his actions as a U.S. Senator. And we don't think that his prior service excuses those actions. He then gives a speech. He's on C-SPAN? An interview, I should say, where he says, that one aspect of the Vietnam conflict that I will never, ever countenance is that we drafted the lowest income level of America, and the highest income level found a doctor that would say they had a bone spur. Trump talks about having a bone spur, and that's how he got deferred. So now I've got this bit of pettiness going on. By the way, I don't think being a draft dodger is petty. I just think that for John McCain to go down this line is to make the insinuation, which has never, ever, ever been proven. In the meantime, Obamacare is still destroying families with high deductibles and high premiums. In the meantime, illegal immigration is getting people killed. This Muslim girl in Virginia, she was raped and then she was murdered, and the suspect is an illegal immigrant. What's our plan? I'm sorry, is it so much to ask that we focus on the job at hand and the task at hand? Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the press secretary, who I've met and who I liked and I still want to talk to, said that it's inappropriate to question a 4-star general. No, it's not. Of course it's not. What are we talking about? It's appropriate to question everybody. Question me. I question the general. The general questions whether or not there's enough mayo on his chicken sandwich. You question anything you want. We're unfocused. And I think that's the way a large group of these media people want it to be. I'm not interested in losing focus. I want to know how we're going to deal with North Korea. I want to know when Obamacare gets repealed. I want my taxes lowered, and I want the corporate tax rate lowered as well. I want a safe and secure border. I want to eliminate the regulation that keep Americans from going to work day in and day out. I want to know when we get rid of the activist judges who think they're more important than the will of the American people and their vote. I want to focus on the things that are important. And right now, we're focused on nonsense. We're focused on jibber-jabber. Personally, it's driving me a little crazy. I find it just a wee bit distressing. So I'd like everyone to just get back to taking a breath and get on your elected members to focus on the things that matter. We don't see tax reform, you don't get voted for again. We don't see Obamacare repeal, you don't get voted for again. Don't ask me to have some respect for John McCain when he has no respect for his own words. Don't ask me not to question a 4-star general. I'll question anybody I choose anytime I choose to. Of course. And so should you. So should we all. And by the way, Frederick Wilson, Representative Frederick Wilson, is an empty barrel. She thinks her character was impugned. She called the man a racist. She's the one who should apologize. I can't wait for her challenge there in running for office. Someone's got to be challenging this woman in running for office. If we can get back to the things that matter, we can then focus on, the super fun stuff. Like why Hollywood still thinks we should be attacking men over Harvey Weinstein as opposed to recognizing that they purposefully clouded and made sure to keep safe a man who was a sexual abuser so they could all make money and lecture to us. There. That's a subject we should be talking about. Traffic on the 5s and Matt Bear, what is happening?
Over on the east side, we have this wreck. It's a Kitley Avenue.